Good evening, good morning, good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Shauna. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, it's 12:15. I meant to record this. Don't kill me, guys, please. And I'm not crazy right now. I am, but I'm not, because I was actually supposed to record it and then upload it so I would be able to free myself up for the rest of the day, because I really wanted to use the time to be doing something else, because I told you that I went back to work. I'm working, so my schedule has changed. I have a different schedule right now. So today we were supposed to actually be discussing entertainment and the spirit behind entertainment, mainly music, but I would say acting as well, because both of these things call for you to bring on a different energy and for you to actually be manipulating your own energy. So the first thing that is important to note is the persona that you have to take on while doing either of these things, simply because it's not 100% you. That is especially with acting, because you take on a quote unquote role and you have a quote unquote script. So this is an energy that you have agreed to embody in order to sell, right? So I think it's important to kind of keep that in mind, because it's like, first of all, where is this even coming from, right? Where is all of this coming from? What are the intentions behind it, right? So that's the first thing that I believe you have to kind of keep in mind and kind of really consider for multiple reasons. Secondly, you have to kind of really start paying attention to who this is geared towards. Who do you want to take this information in? Who do you want to hear it and see it and feel it and believe it and understand it? Like, all of those things are factors in which, you're going to consider when you want people to hear you and understand you. I won't get into, devil worshiping and stuff like that, because that's a whole nother conversation all by itself, right? We really, really have our own idea and perception on what we think those things are and can possibly be. So I'm not even going to get into that. That's a whole nother segment. But I will say that it is indeed important to be conscious of the energy that we agree to take on, and that is with music, with acting, and that is if you're doing it or if you are consuming it, right? This goes both ways. Now, the spirit of music can actually be multiple things. I'll give you a prime example, because anything that can elicit your emotions and cause you to think a certain way or be a certain way it's a spirit, right? Something that changes your emotions, your outlook, your feelings. Those are spirits, good or bad, right? The spirit of joy, the spirit of peace, the spirit of love, the spirit of hate, right? So it doesn't even really matter what it is. These are spirits, like I said, good or bad. So we have to be mindful of the things that we agree to take in and participate in. I love music. I'm a music head. I, often express to people around me my love for music and my disdain for people who doesn't appreciate it, right? So this goes both ways. Like I said, this can be multiple things. I think the main important thing is to kind of stay conscious of what it is that you feel is appropriate for your spirit. It's a difference between listening to gospel music and rock, right? Now, this doesn't mean that you're evil or devil worshiper because you listen to rock music, but it does put a different spirit in you and on you and around you. So it's important to just be conscientious of the things that you are consuming and activating. You consume it when you listen to it and you watch it, right? And you activate it when you are consciously engaging in these things. There are several ways to wake up several different types of spirits, and it's important to know the spirit that you are engaging with. Like for me, because I love music so much, it's so easy for me to possibly elicit spirits and have certain spirits attach themselves to me because I have agreed to engage with this type of spirit via the music or the movie or the TV show or whatever it is. I'll use, what is it called? I'll use reality TV, right? They call it ratchet TV. Why? Why is it being pertained to as ratchet TV? And furthermore, why do people believe that some people take on the persona or the ideations and perceptions of people who are casted on these shows? I'm sorry for all the rubbish, guys. I'm in a new setting, a new background. A lot of things have changed around me within the past few weeks. So yeah, I have a lot of different things going on at this moment. I apologize if it's hard for you to hear me or if it's a lot of movement or noise in the background, okay? So yeah, that is number one. Number two, I totally understand that things can be a certain way and they will be a certain way simply because we call on these things without even being aware of us doing so. A lot of times when you listen to rap music, you may find yourself getting a little slightly more aggressive and just having this particular energy or vibe about yourself that's come on from listening to the music, or you may get emotional. You'll watch a movie, and it'll be like a life-changing or inspirational movie, and next thing you know, you're inspired and now you want to do this and do that. So it goes both ways. It's not just one way with this thing, and I think that's also important to keep in mind because it's not just bad things, but again, it's all a spirit, and it's all your spirit being manipulated by these outside forces, by this entertainment. So if you don't take anything from here today, please do take the possibility that your spirit can be manipulated, even if it is from something good and even if it is for good. Even no matter what the intentions behind it are, right? It's very easy to be manipulated when you are consuming these things. Now, one thing that I've noticed is that we have a better understanding of ourselves outside of forces that can manipulate us. So my advice would be to know yourself well enough, so much so that you are not swayed by outside forces and things that can, manipulate you and have you basically thinking something other than what you usually would, right? I was gonna go into something different, but I'll wait because I think we're gonna start going on every day. I'm gonna pick a time, and I'm sorry, I'm thinking about moving the time slot to a different time every day, because I've been getting a flood of information over the past few weeks, and because I'm working now, I haven't been able to give you guys the information. So and I don't want to get the pow. I'm not going to get the pow. So I have to get the information out to you guys. And the only way I can see that happening in a reasonable time frame is to make some changes, which means we might be going daily and we might be going on a little earlier in the day. Just so it can make sense for me. And for me to be able to give out that, because that's like a month or so of information that I have failed to give you guys, and I will have to catch up severely in order to give that information to you guys. Yeah, it's a lot that I wanted to share with you guys. But yeah, back to the topic. The spirit of entertainment. It's not just music. It's not just music and movies. I just use those two because those two are the most relatable to me, and I can translate that a little easier. Now, when it comes to sports, I think it's a little bit different. Even music, I would say, is slightly different from acting and being in movies. Because a script is required for acting, not so much music. So there are slight differences, but just the overall manipulation of the entertainment. And when I say manipulation, it's not necessarily all bad, right? So please, you guys, just kind of start looking into what you're consuming. That's food, that's music, that's TV, that's everything. Just be careful of what it is that you are consuming, especially in regards to entertainment, to music and television, because it's very important to know what type of spirit this stuff is putting on you and how it can affect your emotions and your emotional responses and your emotional output and your emotional intelligence and perception. So we're going to start wrapping this thing up. We're at 14 minutes. I just wanted to talk about this topic because the Most High had told me earlier in the week the spirit of music, and I usually do research, but I didn't feel I needed to actually research this topic. I felt that I could naturally wing it. I think I've done enough research on the Illuminati and the industry and the business of soul selling and all of that. Like I said, we'll get into that later. I just wanted to touch topics because consumption, the things we consume, we need to be wary and aware, right? So I hope you guys have had a good weekend and you are enjoying your Sunday, and that you're gonna have a good week, a good up and coming week. Okay, I love you guys. Stay safe, be well, drink your water, eat your fruit, mind your business. Peace.